If I do full screen, can I still see the chat box?
Oh, hang on. Just FYI, I think I kicked us live by accident
Oh,
on the YouTube, just so you know. Yes. Oh, it's active. Did you guys hear the feedback or was it just me?
I didn't hear anything.
I hear a little bit, like
Yeah.
really low. Yeah.
Um, okay, well, I'll go live and worry about the YouTube after. Okay. All right, we're gonna go live now. All right, Charlene, do you want to share your screen and just you should be able to wiggle your thing over the chat box in the bottom, even if you have a full screen, I think.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure if I even know where to start, but what are girls thinking for and budgeting? 150 or more $20. That's why I don't like that.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's 12 o'clock according to my screen. So I just wanted to say hello and welcome to everyone. It's Parkinson Awareness Month, and this is our final Lunch and Learn for this month. Throughout the month of April, we wanted to continue to help educate and raise awareness of the fastest growing neurological condition in the world, Parkinson's disease, and we want to celebrate our Parkinson community. And we want to push for Parkinson's. And when we say push, we mean striving forward with a purpose and intention. Whether it's conquering a walk around the block or finishing a crossword puzzle or making a new connection, it's all about getting ourselves involved with that little push. This month and all year, we want you to get involved in whatever way is best for you. Throughout the month of April, we've been doing our sit-stand challenge, and our collective goal is to accomplish 100,000 of those sit-stands. And we know that you can do it. As of today, we're about at 75,000. So we're pretty darn close to our total. We're oh so close. So I want you to keep pushing. You can do sit stands at your kitchen table. You can do them in your living room. You can do them at your desk. They are easy, but also very important for your physical well-being. If you don't yet have one of our tracking sheets, go to our website. You can download the tracking sheet. You still have a few more days. We're keeping track of our totals till the end of the month because we want to hit that grand total of 100,000. If today during our webinar you have any questions, please submit them in the chat box. The chat box is located at the bottom of your screen where there's a little chat icon. Click on it and the chat will appear on the right-hand side. And after our presentation today, we will try and answer as many questions as we can. However, we have a very limited time period for the question period. This webinar is being recorded. All of the information provided in the videos by Parkinson Association and our featured speaker is furnished strictly for educational and entertainment purposes. This service is not intended to be diagnostic, prescriptive, or replace the relationship advice and/or care of your physician. General questions about symptoms, treatments, available medications, complementary and alternative health therapies, and current research will be fielded. Today, we will have two presentations, one starting very shortly, and then the second one at 12:30. So I will encourage you to remind you to mute yourself throughout the presentation. So I would like to introduce our first presenter today, Eric O'Hara. Eric completed his undergraduate degree in electrical engineering at the University of Brasilia in Brazil in 2013. From 2010 until joining the MIP lab in 2023, Eric worked at the Bank of Brazil as an engineer and later as a software developer. He is currently pursuing a master's in science in biomedical engineering with medical imaging specialization. That's a mouthful. His research is focused on causal deep learning modules applied on image data to answer counterfactual medical queries under the supervision of Dr. Forker. I would like to thank Eric and turn it over to him for his presentation.
Thank you, Charlene. Thank you for this nice introduction. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me in this presentation. Let's just share the screen. Can you all see the screen? So, yeah, so I'm Eric. And today I'll talk to you about making AI for medical imaging more reliable and generalizable. So for starters, I would like to highlight how AI is everywhere nowadays, and streaming platforms like Netflix, social media, and you see a video on YouTube that we are streaming right now. When you Google something, it's actually hard nowadays to use a computer or a cell phone without AI. But I would like to show you some new things that are being released. So here is a chatbot that works as a a personal assistant on your phone. ChatGPT is the most famous one, but I put here Gemini, but there are a bunch of other examples. So you can install this on your app and you can use this to help you cook something, give you ideas on what to buy for Mother's Day that's coming up, or plan a game night with your friends. And this can help you with that. For us that work with coding, it's impressive how AI evolved in this coding area. It is a very useful tool to help you improve or optimize your software. This is an example for cloud. It's from
Can you hear it okay?
yeah. So this is from the company called Anthropic, which is a company that was open for people that left OpenAI because it's a grip other stuff. There's also video generation. This one was generated by OpenAI asking for a family of grizzly bears sitting at the table, dining on salmon sashimi with chopsticks, which is something that probably doesn't have a real video to base on. So, which makes this pretty impressive results on how they could. I cannot imagine how this is going to disturb the filming industry and what will make for the future in this. And talking about disturbing industries, this is a post from Forbes from last week that 20,000 AI-generated songs are being uploaded to Deezer every single day. For those who don't know, Deezer is a music platform. It's similar to Spotify and YouTube Music. And it's crazy the amount of music, which makes us think, do we want to hear like generated AI songs? I don't know. And self-driving cars, we know that there are some driving around cities in the US, China, Japan, Europe, but there's still a lot of tests to be done until they are broadly distributed, which makes sense consider the safe issues related. But then you could like read while you're commuting to work or somewhere else, or relax while you're doing that. Don't have the stress of the traffic and stuff. But now let's talk about AI in healthcare. But similar to self-driving cars, AI in healthcare needs to consider a lot of safety and ethical issues. But one that is easily applied is to automate and streamline manual paperwork and data entry performed by doctors and other clinicians. And here I wanted to cite one company from Alberta that does this. Mikata aims to free up doctors to focus on patients, improving the patient experience while also reducing physician workloads and burnout. So we can see that they are trying to automate book appointments, booking notifications, reminders, prep instructions, intake screenings and questionnaires, check-ins, follow-ups, direct patient message campaigns. So if sometimes you receive some message about your booking, maybe your doctor using some kind of AI to do that. So we have already some AI being applied in healthcare. In medical imaging, our field, this is a brand new news. We have a super cool example of this month. This company Cortex AI received Health Canada approval to expand its suite of AI-driven imaging tools into the Canadian market. Their software designed to assist in diagnosing and monitoring neurological conditions such as Alzheimer's disease, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, brain trauma, and prostate cancer. Although there's no direct solution for Parkinson's in their solutions, the tools can help clinicians by quantifying brain structures so they can track general disease progression, I think, including Parkinson's. So this will enhance diagnostic precision in patient care. So this, I think, is great news for us. But Cortex is an American company, so I would like to also cite one from here. So Sarco Cardiovascular Imaging is a company from Calgary that provides software for the evaluation of cardiac MR and CT images. What about directly apart to Parkinson's? So I tried to find one, but I didn't find any solution that was approved by Health Canada for Parkinson's. but I did find FDA approved one, and I think this facilitate their solution to come to Canada eventually. This solution is from Medtronic, and it's a treatment device for Parkinson's disease. It was approved in the beginning of this year, and it is an adaptive deep brain stimulation and electrode identifier technology. They call brain sense adaptive, DBS. Similar to a cardiac pacemaker for the brain, DBS involves surgically implanting a neurostimulator that sends electrical signals to target brain areas affected by the disease. For diagnosis, I didn't find an FDA approved, but I found one that is aiming as its next step. This is an AI solution to differentiate Parkinson's disease, multiple system MSA, the Parkinsonian variant, and PSP, progressive supranuclear palsy, developed by the University of Florida. That will hopefully be applied quickly in the clinics. So there are a lot of advancements that seem to be close to clinical applications, but there are still some challenges to be addressed. I want to talk about two that my research aims to tackle. The first one is explainability. The problem with many of these AI systems is that they work as a black box, giving their decision without explaining why and how they come up with that. In the end, the decision for diagnosis and treatment comes for the medical practitioner. How can she or he trust what the AI decision without knowing how the process was that they used? The other problem, other challenge that I want to tackle is generalization. We usually conduct the studies and develop our solutions with a specific population. And one population can have people with more advanced age, other one can have more women, a third can have different race. And the problem that is we usually have different equipments or protocols or scanners, like different branches in these locations, which lead to the brain image looks a little different. Like you can imagine that one is a little darker, or it's a little brighter. And when we develop these AI solutions or some populations and try to apply to a new one, we can see that it doesn't work anymore in this new population. That happens because of something that we call a shortcut learning. The AI solution learns something easier to detect, which is, for instance, the different types of scanners. If they let some like a brighter or darker image, so they learn that and not the real features of the disease, which is usually a little more detailed and harder to get. So our project aims to investigate whether we can solve those two problems with counterfactual reasoning. Well, what is counterfactual reasoning? That it's the simulation of hypothetical scenarios that we do all the time in our heads. We can think like, what if I had woke up earlier today? What if I had studied more? Would I be better in this test? So counterfactual reasoning is about answer this what if type of questions. Here, for instance, we have an example of two scenarios. One, if he had taken the dog, one, if he had not taken the dog. We can imagine how his life would be different in both scenarios. So that's what counterfactual reasoning is all about. And how can we apply this to medical imaging? If the AI solution decides a brain contains some kind of disease, it could generate another brain image answer. What if the brain didn't have the disease? And the doctor could analyze the difference and understand the process of the AI and decide, like, based on the regions that were highlighted, what if he or she trusted the decision or not. Instead of taking a disease, we started with something simpler. We just use age and sex because we know how those affect the brain images, and we can make sure that the AI software was making a good job. For instance, here we can see brain image of 45 and then older image of the brain. And we expect that the ventricles, which is the middle part of the brain, to be enlarged due to normal atrophy of the brain that happens due to aging. And a postdoc in our lab managed to develop this solution, an AI that could do counterfactual reasoning. However, his solution was limited to 2D images. And the brain is a very complex volumetric organ with each region having a different purpose. So applying 2D was not enough. And applying directly his model to 3D images asks for petabytes of memory, which will not be feasible to have these on computers and clinics and so on. So an improvement of his method was necessary to apply to 3D neural images. So that was my first job in my research. I applied 5 different methods of dimensionality reduction combined with his AI solution and compare the results. So here you can see a brain if he was older to see the ventricles enlarging. In here it was younger, so actually shrinking the ventricles. I did also for sex, so how it would look like if it was a different sex. And we could look this and analyze some metrics. And the conclusion was that the 3D PCA had the best results. This led to a publication. This paper was actually published this week with all our results here. And okay, now we have a solution that could do the counterfactual reasoning and can be applied to 3D neural images. So now we started to try to solve the second problem of the generalization. One solution to the challenge of these different populations is data harmonization. What data harmonization tries to make is to make the images as similar as possible as if they were taken from the same site. There are multiple techniques available, each one with its own strengths and weaknesses. So since our solution can do counterfactual reasoning, could we use this to answer the question, what if the images were taken from the same site, and use this as a data harmonization technique? So that's what we are experimenting with. And we could check that by seeing if the results, when applied to separate populations, actually improve when we do the harmonization with our counterfactuals. So for that, we use a multi-site Parkinson's disease. So database that has participants from 10 different locations, including Calgary, Montreal, Japan, Germany, and these populations are all different. Like some have people with more advanced age, some have more women, some have more people with Parkinson's, some have more people with health control. And we have all this information of each patient that we can use to give this AI solution so that they can learn. And we did exactly what I told you, like we put one site apart and we train our solution with the other 9 sites, and we test with this one that they never saw. So we did that with the original images first, and we can see that its change level is like close to 50% accuracy. So it didn't learn about the disease because was probably learning the shortcuts that I told you about. And then we apply histogram matching, which is a technique that is broadly used, but it's a common one. And you can see that it didn't improve. And our technique improved to 71%, so improve a lot on the accuracy by giving this how this image looked like if it was from the same site. So it seems that it works as a data harmonization. We are going to test with other techniques as well to compare which one's better, which is worst. But we can see that it improves the generalization in a different data set that it didn't see before. For future work, what we are expecting now is combining both. So we can have a solution that is both reliable, generalizable for Parkinson's diagnostic. So if we can see here in the software, if we have a patient that was diagnosed by Parkinson, we could actually show how a healthy brain, his health brain or hers health brain would look like, and highlight the differences so the doctor can analyze that and actually trust or not. We also can calculate like the likelihood of having Parkinson's or being healthy, which will be like how sure is the model about this decision, which could also inform a lot, and show like the regions that were highlighted. So the doctor knows usually which regions are affected by Parkinson's disease. And it can also help with, if we manage to do that, it can also help to find new regions, new biomarkers to facilitate the diagnostics. So it can not only be used for clinical practice, but for research as well, so we can find more about Parkinson's diagnostics. So I think that was everything that I would like to talk. I would like to thank the Parkinson's Association for all the funding and help that they gave me, and the University of Calgary for the support, and all my colleagues that helped me a lot. That this is my colleagues from my lab. There are a bunch of us, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. We will open up the chat if there are any questions from our audience. If it's difficult to type it in the chat, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
I'm going to ask a question, Charlene.
Go ahead.
This sounds very impressive, and it sounds actually above my head a bit, but it would be a good tool that I guess a neurologist would use. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
And is it being used yet in Canada here, or is it still? It's still in the research stages, is it?
Yes, good question on this.
Yeah, it's still
The
in.
image is not taken based on
Sorry. So it's still in the research phase.
can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, so it's still in the research phase. We hope that it can be in the clinical soon, but we can see that there are some solutions already for other diseases that are going to be applied, but it was just approved for Health Canada this month. So I think it's gonna take some time to actually be in the clinics, but that one for Alzheimer's is already being applied. So I hope that for Parkinson's, we are not that far away too.
Thank you.
So one of the questions, Eric, is what do you see or hope for the future of AI and Parkinson's disease?
Well, I hope that because the problem with like having those specialists and neurologists is the lack of those specialists that we have. So the number of months that we have to wait to see a specialist, and because there are few people and a lot of work. So I hope that AI can help them do the work quickly, and even maybe if the AI solution actually have better scores, then we can have timely doctors also starting some procedures with Parkinson's disease before, like if there's a high chance of the person that the AI gave, like a high chance of having maybe the treatment can start earlier, and we don't need to wait the whole for a specialist sometimes. So that's why I hope for that we can have treatments quicker, early diagnostics. That's why I hope that AI can do for Parkinson's.
This question, where does the AI generator get its original information or sources?
So this is from like the data from the people that participate in those studies. So we need a lot of data to do that. It's from brain image scans that people that decided to give the information so that's the data that we use. We don't have much with Parkinson's compared to Alzheimer's, for instance. So the problem is that we need a lot of data, and so we ask like if you can participate in those studies that we can can spare this time to participate, it helps a lot for to evolve.
So can this be used as a diagnostic?
Yes, but what we in our lab, what we wanted is not like to because we don't want to replace radiologists or neurologists, because I think there are some specificities of the patient that only with human interactions you can know. So I think the AI can be used as just a support tool for the diagnostic, but not as a final diagnostic tool.
Okay. And what do you foresee as the next stage of your research?
So that next stage is to apply for Parkinson's. Like that's the it's to see yes, and to generate the counterfactual. If you have someone with Parkinson's and see how would this brain look like if you didn't have, and see the regions that it is highlighted and see if they match with what we know from literature, and if have even more, then we can research about these new regions as well. We hope.
Reliability of data is of paramount importance. How can we actually rely on the information available, and how the people with Parkinson's can contribute more?
Yes. So we before working with the data, we actually have to look each one. There's a whole work before using the data to make sure that the quality of the data in the information is actually accurate. There's some neurologists that look at the image as well to make sure that the diagnostic that was done before is actually correct. And I think I can check how people can contribute more. I think there are some labs, because our lab just do the software work, but there are other labs that are collecting data, so I can see which ones are collecting and send Charlene the information so she can send you for you.
Yeah. And I think I'll reiterate what Grant has written. Wow, great insight into the AI world. You have a fantastic resume that has a diverse education and work experience, and you bring unconventional potential breakthroughs. So with that, I will say thank you so much, Eric, for your time and for sharing your information with those of us in the Parkinson's world. And again, we want to congratulate you on your research and ongoing successes. So we hope to continue to partner with you. And thank you again. So now we're going to move on to our second presenter for today's Lunch and Learn. I'm very fortunate to introduce Dr. Nisa Kishavas. She will be presenting on unique pathways to health, personalized corrective exercises for Parkinson's. So this is super exciting for me because we all know how exciting exercise is and how beneficial it is for people with Parkinson's. So Dr. Kersava is a researcher and corrective exercise specialist focused on Parkinson's disease and musculoskeletal disorders. She is the kinesiology project coordinator at Savvy Knowledge Corporation and a research assistant at the University of Alberta's Faculty of Rehabilitation Medicine. With a background in clinical work with elderly and neurodevelopmental populations, she integrates research and practice to enhance motor function. Her work includes postdoctoral research at the University of Calgary, publications on gait analysis and posture, and the development of innovative health solutions for individuals with Parkinson's disease. So I'd like to welcome Dr. Kisavas.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nessa. I'm working on a research project as a postdoc associate under the supervision of Dr. Victor Ezek at University of Alberta. And it's a pleasure to be here with you again. And I want to thank Parkinson Association of Alberta for inviting me to speak during Parkinson Awareness Month. As you know, this year's theme is push. which stands for preparation, uniqueness, safety, and health. We talked about safety and preparation in the previous Lunch and Learn session that we had together. And today we are going to focus on the power of uniqueness in your journey to health. You know, Parkinson is not a one-size-fits-all condition. It affects each person differently. And because your journey is unique, your approach to exercise, movement, and health should be unique too. What works for one person might not work for another one, and that's totally okay. Today, we are going to explore how you can discover your own pathway to a better mobility and health through personalized corrective exercise designed just for you. So let's push forward together, not just with the strengths, but with focus on what makes you, your body, and your needs truly unique. Talking about corrective exercise, personalized corrective exercise, I want to say why personalized corrective exercise is so powerful for people who are living with Parkinson. As I mentioned, Parkinson doesn't affect everyone the same way. You know it better than me from your own experience and from people you have met. Some people might notice their posture changing. Some can see a stiffness or trouble in balance. This is why generic corrective exercise may be not enough for everybody. And personalized exercise is about identifying the specific challenges that everybody faces and working on those challenges. This is also important to know that where are you in your Parkinson journey? And when you feel a strength enough for doing your exercise during a day, and what you want to achieve. Maybe you want to do walking your dog, climbing stairs, or feeling more strong, upright, confident. We are here to approach to more effective exercises. And I'm going to walk you through the way to can make your own personalized exercise or find your way to make your exercise. Let me walk you through 3 simple steps to show you how you can actually create this unique pathway. The first step is assessment. You should know that what is the problem, and you should test your body and your balance. For the first test, I suggest to test your posture. You can easily do this test. Try standing against a wall and check if your head, shoulder, hip, heel can touch the wall or not. If it's possible, that's okay. If not, it means that there is room for improvement. The second test is the balance test. Can you stand on 1 foot for 5 to 10 seconds? It's better to do it near a support. The third test is gait. Are you shuffling or taking small steps? In these 3 ways, you can answer the questions that are necessary before choosing your exercise plan. The second step is determining your goals. What do you want from your exercise? Do you want to stand taller, walk further, or move more energetically during your day and having more energy for doing your activities during your day? You may have short-term or long-term goals, but you should know that what is your goals for your exercise. The goals will help us to choose the right exercises. The third step is about timing. You'll get the best result when you time your exercises for when you feel strongest. Usually align your exercise with medication peak. Starting slow, then progressing as comfort grows. Start small, maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day, and build up little by little. Remember, consistency beats intensity. It's not about doing a lot. It's about doing it often. Support and tools are necessary for personalized corrective exercise. You don't have to do this alone. Professionals can help you. Kinesiologists can provide specialized corrective exercises for you. Technology can help you. Apps help track your posture and training, which help you stay motivated. And home adjustment that can help you. Adapt your environment with simple tools. Use chair with arms for seated exercises. Have a mirror nearby to check your posture. Use lightweight or bands if you can to increase the intensity of your exercises. Now we talked about some tests. I hope that when I was reviewing the test, you thought about yourself and your needs and answered these questions about posture, balance, and the other things about yourself. And I believe it happens. Now, let's imagine a person who has some problem with posture, balance, or maybe walk, and suggest some corrective exercise for these people. The first exercise that I suggest is wall angle. As you can see in this photo, and I provide also a YouTube link here that you have access later. Standing with your back against the wall and widening your shoulder. Keep your back flat and arms close the wall. It will be a good exercise for improving your posture. If you feel you have some difficulties with your posture, it can be a good exercise for improvement. And how you can find that, do you have any problem with your posture or you need this exercise? We talked about a test, a posture test on the wall before. So if your answer to that test is that there is a room for improvement, this exercise can be helpful. The second exercise is for balance. This exercise is side-to-side weight shift. Stand with feet hip width, as you can see in this photo, and try to move and shift your weight from one foot to another. And how you can find that there is a problem with your balance. We talked about the test, standing on one foot, that can help you to understand if there is a problem with your balance or not. And in this way, you can find the personalized exercise if you have a problem with your balance. This exercise is heel to toe walk. It's also the exercise that help you with your balance and also walk. Big step walking. If you have the problems like freezing or shuffling walk, it can help you to improve your gait. Focus on large steps. Move your knees up. You can also use some markers on the floor or some small tools to make some steps to walk over them. Visual cue walking. It is an exercise for people who have some problem in gait, the same as shuffling or freezing gait. You can use some simple tape or, as I told, some simple tools, the same as, I don't know, something like socks or something that is available in your place to make some visual cue and try to walk over them. Power moves. It can be helpful for everybody. Exaggerate all your movement. Do your movement strong. Stretch your body and do your activities more powerful. Embrace your uniqueness. Push into your personalized path. Preparation means know your body and your day. When you know yourself, your habits, your time, you can choose your exercise wisely. Uniqueness. Your exercise should fit you, your journey, your goal, your plan. So it is you and your specialist that you work for with them can choose your best personalized corrective exercise based on your needs. And as important as these two steps is safety. Adopt as needed. Move smart, not hard. And this journey will go to the hills with a small, consistent actions. If you like to get long-term gains, you should have consistency and small actions. And the final call is your movement is your way. Let's push forward uniquely and powerfully. We talked about few exercises, and we talked before in our previous session about this exercise. I will provide this brochure of exercise for Parkinson Association to share with everybody as you asked. And I'm here to answer all your question about exercises or tests or everything that you need to know more about.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kisavat. I also want to say you were present at both of our Stand Up for Parkinson challenges and did lots of sit-stands with all of us. So we very much appreciate that. But we also want to thank you for using our theme throughout your presentation, because it really truly helps us to express to everyone how important it is that we push ourselves. And so with that, are there any questions about exercise? We know there's great research evidence that people with Parkinson's do much better if they exercise regularly. And you've given us some great examples of how and what they can do to start that journey. And we want them to continue on with it. So are there any questions with regards to this presentation or any questions about exercise? I know everyone's going to get out and exercise right now. How can we get involved in your research?
Oh, it's a very good question, because I will be so happy if we can get some participants here. I think you can share my email and phone number with all the patients who are interested in joining our research. I think previously you published a flyer of my research, and there is our team's email and phone number in that flyer, but I can share my email address and phone number if you want to join. I can.
I have a question.
There's a question in the chat or a comment. We have information on virtual rides that improve an adrenaline rush, which adds to energy and less tiredness.
Which can improve?
It says adrenaline rush, which adds to energy and less tiredness.
Mm. Okay, what's the problem? What's the question? It's the question, is adrenaline can?
I think, oh, well, it's a comment. We have information on virtual rides. So I'm not sure if that is, when you do things virtually, is it the same? And does it help?
Based on my experience and literature review, there is not big difference between doing things virtually or in person. If you can see the video of exercises and do your exercise, that will be the same as having a personal trainer with yourself. Actually, sometimes we need a person to be beside us to protect, to help in some moving, but most of the time for most people it's possible to practice just with some videos and, as you told, virtually.
There is a question, are seated exercises as effective as standing exercises?
Sure, it is. When you have problem with standing, if you cannot keep your balance, so seated exercises are more effective because you can focus on the muscles that are effective in the movement without thinking about your balance. If you are okay with balancing and you can keep your balance and you have no problem, you can do a standing and sitting exercises. Both are effective in their place.
When you choose the
Are
exercise,
there any water-based programs that are beneficial for people with Parkinson's?
Water-based program or exercises that
Yeah, I
can,
think exercising in the water.
yes. What's the question? Yes, for sure. Any kind of exercise that provide you kind of mobility can help you to go through this journey more safely and more effectiveness. So doing exercise in the water can provide more resistance for your activities, can help you in balance. So it's effective exercise too.
Yeah, okay. Since PD is a long journey, the exercises have to be more entertaining and be embedded in fun activities. Maybe your group help to develop some videos on popular songs to emulate slow and fast movements. In a nutshell, change the choreography, keeping the same song. So I'm wondering about making videos with music so that people are moving. I'm thinking is the question.
Yes, one of the goal for providing exercise for Parkinson group is combining the cognitive exercise and physical exercise. And we do all the time such exercises and combine physical exercise with some kind of rhythmic counting or kind of singing and pointing, maybe not the exact thing that we can call dancing, but something similar can help them to improve their coordination or cognitive ability and physical ability at the same time.
Is a stationary bike or regular walking better exercise?
We cannot say what is better than the other thing. As I talked, personalized exercise are based on your needs. If you cannot do some exercises, we suggest do everything that is possible for you. If a stand bike is possible and the only thing that you have access, do it. But if you have access to other exercises, I suggest to have the variety of exercise because, for example, in walking and a stand bike, your lower body is active. How about your upper body? How about your cognition? So based on your needs and your ability, we suggest a variety of corrective exercise, not just limiting to one or two.
When you choose an exercise, do you choose an exercise that is easy to do or one that is more challenging?
It's a good question. As we talk about personalized corrective exercise, it is the other point because The best exercise is the exercise that is not very easy for you, and the exercise that is not very hard for you. When you are doing the exercise, you should feel that you are doing something. It's not something that you can do easily, but it shouldn't be as hard as hurting you. You are not supposed to feel any pain. You are not supposed to put yourself in danger of falling or being injured. So it's just you can give us feedback to provide you better exercises and to update your exercise. Exercise plan is not something for always. It is something that should be updated week by week, month by month, based on your need, based on your improvement, your progress. So the person who is doing exercise, the best one to determine that is it the best intensity for the exercise, or we need to increase or decrease.
I would say that as Parkinson's changes, your types of exercise may change also, or your intensity may change based on whether or not today is a good day or not a good day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other point that I mentioned was your plan during the day. What time during the day you feel the best for doing your exercise? Most of the time it's aligned with the peak of your medication, but sometimes you feel better in the morning, you feel better in the evening. So you are the person that should have to tell us that it's the best time for me to do the exercise, and do your exercise based on your body and your need and your ability during the day. And the other thing is changing during your journey. Some people change little by little. Maybe it is a kind of improvement, or maybe it is a kind of losing the ability. Maybe you are good in balance today, but you have some problem in few weeks. Or at the opposite side, you have problem with balance today, and with exercise you have improvement and you have a good balance, so you can do some exercises that need balance. So doing the test every month, every week, by your kinesiologist or by yourself, and giving the update or feedback to your kinesiologist can help her or him to provide better exercise that fit this time and your need.
And I think the key is to do something, because something is better than nothing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do something, but something that fits you, something that is for you, your need, based on your journey, your time.
Yeah. Well, this has been fantastic. And again, thank you so much, Dr. Kisava, for emphasizing and stressing how important exercise is. And your research, again, shows that it's very important that people keep moving and keep exercising. So again, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. I also want to just say a thank you also to our previous presenter, Eric. And I want to remind everyone to continue to do your sit stands for this month. Parkinson Awareness Month, our goal was that 100,000, and we're oh so close. So this would be your challenge for the next few days until we get to the end of April, to continue to do that very functional movement, that sit to stand, which is again an exercise, but something that we can continue to do regularly. So if you're keeping track of them, continue on, call us or email us with your numbers so that we can meet that goal of 100,000 by the end of the month. We're oh so close. I want to thank you all for joining us today for our last Lunch and Learn series in the Parkinson Awareness Month. We also would encourage you to remember that if you want to talk to us or reach out to us, by all means, the toll-free line or the email communication is best for us. So thank you so much. If you have the opportunity to be out today, it looks like the sun is shining here in the north, and hopefully it is in the south as well. Some sunshine and maybe a walk outside might not be a bad thing. That's your exercise for today. So again, thank you everyone for joining us, and continue to join us with further lunch and learns or ask the experts or our webinars coming up. Check the program calendar for the rest of our sessions.